The dark side of being humble. What no one tells you. What if I tell you that your greatest weakness is something everyone praises you for? That the very thing your religion, your parents, your school, and even your favorite self-help guru told you was a virtue might actually be holding you back, crushing your confidence, and slowly stealing your life. Humility. Yes. Being humble. You've been told your whole life, stay humble, do not brag, keep your head down, let others praise you. Don't speak too highly of yourself. But here is the shocking truth. Being humble might be ruining your life. Sounds crazy, right? But keep watching, because by the end of this video, you will realize that humility, when misunderstood, is not just overrated. It's dangerous. Let's go deeper. Humility is seen as a spiritual treasure in almost every religion. In Christianity, Jesus said, "The meek shall inherit the earth." In Islam, humility is seen as a sign of piety and moral strength. In Buddhism, ego is the enemy. In Hinduism, detachment from pride is seen as spiritual progress. In school, you're taught, don't show off. At home, stop acting proud, and on social media, the moment you post something confident, someone comments, stay humble. But let me ask you this. What if staying humble is the reason you're stuck? What if it's the reason you don't speak up at meetings? Why you didn't ask for that raise? Why you're afraid to tell the world what you're good at? Why you keep shrinking yourself to make others comfortable? You think you're being humble, but you're actually being invisible. Now, before you start shouting arrogance is bad too, yes, of course it is. But this isn't a debate between arrogance and humility. It's about the silent killer that hides behind the mask of modesty. Let me show you how that works. Meet Mary, brilliant graphic designer. She works late. She delivers her target like magic. But every time her boss says, "Who did this?" she says, "Oh, it was a team effort." Even when it wasn't, she never takes credit. Why? Because she doesn't want to look arrogant. Now her co-worker, Tom, who barely knows how to use Photoshop, takes full credit every chance he gets. Guess who just got promoted? Yep, Tom. And Mary? Still humble, still broke. Humility teaches you to downplay your strengths, but the world rewards those who display them. You might think, but I don't want to be a show-off. Fair, no one likes a narcissist. But here's the twist. There's a difference between confidence and arrogance. Confidence is knowing your value. Arrogance is believing you're better than others. Humility, when taken too far, pushes you to forget your value entirely. And this isn't just a modern problem. History is full of geniuses who were too humble and forgotten. Ever heard of Rosalind Franklin? She discovered the structure of DNA, but Watson and Crick got the credit. Why? Because she never fought for recognition. She stayed humble, and history left her behind. Meanwhile, Thomas Edison, shameless self-promoter. And now, he's the face of invention. You think it's just coincidence, still not convinced? Let's talk about how humility affects your mental health. Studies show that people who suppress their achievements to stay humble are more likely to experience anxiety, imposter syndrome, and low self-worth. Because the mind starts believing, if I don't speak it, maybe it's not real. And worse, the world starts believing it too. You're not being humble, you're hiding, you're not being modest, you're muted. And the people who are louder, they win. Even in relationships, the dark side of humility shows up. Ever been in a relationship where you always give, never ask? You stay quiet to keep the peace. You say sorry when you're not wrong. You sacrifice your needs because that's what good people do. Sounds noble, right? But here's the truth, that's not love, that's self-erasure. You're teaching people how to treat you by how small you make yourself. And over time, they stop seeing your worth because you stop showing it. Let's talk money. How many times have you heard, money doesn't matter, stay humble? Sounds wise, but guess what? The ones telling you that are often already rich. It's easy to preach humility from the top of the mountain. Meanwhile, you're being told not to negotiate, not to charge your worth, not to market yourself, because that's greedy. Wake up. You can be a good person and still make money. You can be kind and still be confident. You can be spiritual and still be successful. Humility, when misunderstood, becomes a mental cage. It's not about being grounded anymore. It's about being stuck. Here's the irony. True humility isn't about pretending to be less. It's about knowing exactly who you are, your flaws and your strengths, and owning them fully. But that's not what we've been taught. We've been taught to shrink, to stay small, to wait to be chosen, instead of choosing ourselves. Here's the raw truth. The world isn't fair. It doesn't reward talent. It rewards visibility. It rewards boldness. It rewards the ones who dare to say, I'm good at this. I can help you. I deserve more. And if you're too humble to say those words, don't be surprised when someone with half your talent, but double your audacity, takes the spotlight. Now, I'm not telling you to become a narcissist. This isn't about becoming the loudest person in the room. It's about unlearning the lie that staying quiet will get you noticed. It won't. It's about choosing to be visible. Because you can't be celebrated for the things you hide. Think about that. You can't be loved for the gifts you never show. You can't get what you don't ask for. You can't rise by staying low. Let me tell you a quick story. There's an ancient tale of a man who had a glowing gem hidden inside him, but he kept it covered because he didn't want people to think he was showing off. He walked through life dim, dull, unnoticed. One day a traveler asked, "Why do you hide your light?" He said, "Because I was taught to stay humble." The traveler replied, "Hiding your light doesn't serve the world, it only leaves us in darkness." That's the message today. Stop hiding your light. Being humble doesn't mean being invisible. It means knowing your value and showing up with it. You don't have to scream, but you do have to speak. You don't have to brag, but you do have to own your greatness. You don't have to be arrogant, but you must stop being afraid of your power, because the world needs what you have, but it can only reward what it sees. So the next time someone tells you, stay humble, look them in the eyes and say, I will, but I won't stay small. And then go show them what quiet confidence looks like. Be kind, be honest, be real, but above all, be seen.